I don't think I want a house anymore.
It sounds so fun though, living by yourself.
You don't want a free baby?
Welcome to Reshoot, amateurs in no suits. Too many movies to explore. Ruthie, Hector, and Ed, laughter till the end. Let's see something never done before. Hi everyone, welcome to Reshoot, an amateur's guide to gooder film.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today. Today we watched Vivarium.
Does everyone give their names?
Directed by Lorcan Finnegan, written by Garrett Shanley.
I'm Garrett.
Starring Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots.
Wait, can I be Imogen? I like the name Poots.
Can I be Jesse Eisenberg?
Yeah, I can be the baby.
You can.
Ed is boy.
It is boy. Yeah.
You gotta do it with the Kratos voice.
It'd be green boy. Anyway, Vivarium.
This intro's a mess.
Vivarium.
Are we gonna give her real names or no? Are we gonna give her real names or no?
Real names? What do you mean?
Like, we didn't introduce ourselves with our names.
Well, we don't need to. Everyone knows by now. I'm
Ed.
a
new listener.
Yeah, if you're a new listener, my name is Eduardo or Ed. Pick one.
I am Ruthie.
I'm Imogen Poots. I'm Hector. I'm Hector.
Yeah. And just to make it easier. So today we watched Vivarium, directed by Lorcan Finnegan, written by Garrett Shanley, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots.
She's got a fun last name.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is a fun last name. All right, so since I picked this movie and I've never seen it before until now, I'll do the quick synopsis. New listeners, yes, this is a very spoiler heavy podcast. Get out if you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Anyways, movie starts off with a scene of how the bird, the cuckoo, reproduces, which is a very parasitic way, where the cuckoo lays an egg in a foreign nest of a specific other bird. I don't remember.
Is it another specific kind of bird? I thought it was just any bird.
It's any bird apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, when the baby cuckoo hatches from the egg, it instinctively pushes out the other eggs or baby birds from the nest to fall to their death. And then the other bird, because this other bird is stupid, starts feeding the cuckoo baby, which is usually much bigger than the parent bird, foster. Anyways, it starts off with that scene. It's important later. And then we get to a scene of Imogen Poots, who plays, what are their names in the movie? Gemma and Tom. Yeah. So we have Gemma, played by Imogen Poots, who is an elementary school teacher. And we also get to meet Tom, her boyfriend, long term, I think like 2 years or something. I don't know. Anyways, her boyfriend. Long enough that they're looking for a house. You get that in some exposition dialogue right away. And then they go to so Tom and Gemma go to a real estate office kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like a kind of thing. And the guy that greets them is very strange. Like he's acting, pretending to be human, basically. And he imitates Gemma's voice almost exactly. Anyways, they go there and he tells them, oh, you can look at our houses, our development, our suburbia kind of thing. And they follow the dude to this neighborhood of like an endless sea of identical green houses with your kind of perfect, kind of 50s, 60s looking lawn kind of stuff like that. And they tour this house with him, and eventually the guy just like vanishes, leaves in the car and just leaves them alone. And then Tom and Gemma try to leave this maze of suburbia, and they are unable to. And their car runs out of gas. And they go into the house that they cannot escape because they keep running into number 9. They go inside and spend the night. And I think the very next day they get a box of like supplies and the baby in the mail.
No, they have one day, then Tom lights the house on fire. They sleep on the sidewalk, and then they wake up with the baby.
And
the
then they
house is
wake
totally
up,
fine.
Yeah.
and the house is back to normal. And then they have a baby in a cardboard box in the middle of the street,
As you do.
as you do. Oh yeah, so there's no neighbors anywhere. No, they can't find anybody. And they grab the baby, and inside the box it says, "Raise the baby, and you will be released," or something along those lines. So they do. And in 98 days, this baby is already like 10 years old. It was
I
like
thought it was like 5.
Hmm?
I'm so bad at guessing kid ages.
No, he was like 8.
he was
Yeah,
like
he, like,
8 or
couldn't have
so.
been-
He was like
he
8 or
would-
10. He's a child, not a toddler.
He's
not
younger
a,
than 10. 10
perhaps.
is a 5th grader. That's a kid that knows how to multiply. The kid that was in the show or in the movie, he like, I would be surprised if he could spell his name if
To
they
be-
gave him a name.
To be fair, they weren't really trying to teach him. They just
Well,
kind of just
yeah,
hated him.
but
Yeah, I know.
Anyways,
I know. But either way, he's like a child, not a toddler, not a teenager, a child. In 98 days. And they're not very happy having this child that they're raising, they're doing a terrible job at, and the kid is just extremely weird. But what?
Oh no! Like they.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ruthie
right.
was
They-
flipping- Ruthie was flipping off to show the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. There's a scene where Tom and Gemma are like waking up in the morning, and the kid's there, and then they both flip him off, and then the kid flips him off. And eventually, Tom decides to start digging a hole.
Well, you gotta
As
explain
you
why
do.
he starts digging a hole.
I don't remember why.
Because he
flicked a
cigarette.
cigarette and then the
Oh yeah,
grass
he flicked
grew,
the
like-
cigarette, and the grass around it immediately died. Like immediately
And
around
it just left dirt.
and it just left there, and so he started digging. And that's yeah. And Gemma is having a really hard time being a single mother at this point. They even come to a point in the movie where they lock the kid in the car, trying to kill him, I guess,
Well,
because
Tom
they're sick and
tries
tired of
to,
him.
Mhm.
Tom
And
tries
then-
to, and then they
Gemma
let him out.
just- Yeah.
Eventually, at one point, Tom, while digging the hole, starts hearing people or noises or something. Some weird noises, like under him. And that gets him to start digging more and more. And this is what basically he does for a lot of the movie, while Gemma's like dealing with the kid. Eventually, the kid is now a young man, and Tom is still digging the hole. He's gotten like 20, 30 feet in or more. And the young man leaves the house every now and again to go somewhere. And Gemma tries to follow him at one point, but he doesn't seem to follow the laws of physics. Anyways, eventually Tom finds a body in the hole, literally in a body bag. He doesn't relay this information to anybody. They get locked out of the house from young man
Because he's grown older by that point.
because he's grown older by then. And Tom eventually dies from being sick and not getting into the house, and the young boy or the young man not helping him, the adult now. And their son brings a body bag, puts him in there, and throws him down the hole that he was digging. This does not sit well with Gemma, and eventually she's sleeping in the car at one point, waiting for the boy to leave the house. He does. Gemma comes up behind him, hits him with the pickaxe, to which he responds to hissing at her, and then lifting up the sidewalk and crawling in
Like a blanket fort.
like a blanket fort, where Gemma eventually goes in, and it's this weird, like, what are those impossible, like, paintings? Like
It's like the stairs going
the
different ways.
super
MC
stair, yeah.
Escher.
MC Escher, yeah.
MC Escher, that kind of stuff in here. And she kind of falls into this place where instead of green, it's I think it's like blue or red. Blue?
It was red.
It was red.
Like
the first one.
blood red. Like
Yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah, the first
Everything's like
green,
in
then
the
it was-
red, this red thing, and then she sees a young boy dressed exactly as their young boy, and she hears a woman sobbing, and she walks over to the dinner table, and she sees a woman there crying in this like same exact house. It's just red, and then she falls to the floor into what I think is purple or blue.
Blue. It's green, red, blue. Like
no, it was
Yeah.
red, green,
Oh,
blue.
those 3 colors specifically. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
remember.
Fair enough.
blue
blue.
into a blue room where there's some people.
No, the dude.
It was
the
just one dude who slit his throat
His
or
wrist.
slit his wrist. Yeah.
I
He
thought
said
it
the
was
rest.
I thought it was the couple first, and then
No,
the
it was the
dude.
couple.
The couple was the green, and then it's the red, and then it's the blue.
there's one more in between the slitting wrist.
It wasn't important. Point being,
Well, the green is the two people.
Yeah,
having
anyways,
sex.
she falls to the floor into another one of a couple, doing the dirty with the boy watching, clapping. And then she falls through the wall and is in the bathroom, and she sees a man in the bathtub who has slit his wrists and is dead. And then she falls to the floor again, and she's back in the greenhouse. And I'm not quite remembering how she dies.
she just gets exhausted. And
Oh yeah.
the
She
director does-
basically starves to death, basically, because she's
The-
not allowed in. She doesn't eat. But yeah,
no,
she
she's
just
allowed in by that point.
Yeah. And
Um,
when you
Oh.
say the greenhouse, you're referring to like the
Her
house she
original-
started.
Yeah, the
not,
original,
like
the
green
original.
filter.
I'm pretty sure it was like a dimensional creature too, because it was like
yeah.
jumping
Oh yeah,
around
there's a
timelines.
scene where Gemma asked the boy where he was when he was younger, and he has this weird like pouch in his neck to make a noise.
Like a frog.
Like a frog. I forgot about that scene. And then she's in the greenhouse, she gets exhausted and dies. And then the boy again puts her in a body bag, throws her down the hole, and then he fills in the hole again, in which when he finishes, the grass grows back immediately. He gets into Gemma's and Tom's car, goes back to the real estate place where they were, which is probably like 4 or 5 months or 6 months later.
If we're
In
assuming
real time?
time is the same.
Yeah, about 6-7 months later, and the man that was there is now extremely old and frail. So much so that the boy shows up and the man dies, and then the boy or the young man puts him in a body bag, rolls him up, and puts him in a filing cabinet.
that's
and then
also
he
a
sits
shoot.
down. Yeah, what? Oh, that's
You
also
can
a
hear like a
shoot.
bit of a shoot noise, like
Yeah,
kind of thing.
probably a shoot. And then he sits back down in the chair. Another couple walks in looking for a house. He stands up and the movie ends. Ooh. So yeah, this movie was weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
I liked it, however, to a degree. Things I liked was the mystery of it all, and the mimicry of the cuckoo's parasitic life and the baby's parasitic life cycle. Seems that it's the same as the cuckoo. I like the idea of suburbia and how boring it is, and like these new developments with cookie cutter houses and all of that, and how lonely it is because they had no neighbors and all of that. It's pretty cool. I like Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots as actors. Jesse Eisenberg needs to stop getting typecasted.
What do you mean typecast? Lex Luthor is very different than Tom.
I know, but like, it's just when he's in good movies, he's the nerd. Anyways,
He wasn't a nerd in this one.
Yeah,
I know,
if
I know.
anything, he was almost the jock boyfriend because he was like,
yeah,
Not smart. And...
yeah, he was the handyman at the school.
yeah.
Not smart because he wasn't a handyman. Just he made a lot of weird decisions.
Mhm.
Not saying that janitors aren't smart. They're
Yeah, he's
smart.
just
Well, out of
He's-
the pair, like she's the teacher. I don't know.
I mean, you can.
yeah.
It's. I don't know.
He's just a bit of a not nice person sometimes. He's very nice to Gemma though. Anyways, the boy is super, super weird, but I liked it because I didn't like all of it. I hated the woof woof and the screaming so much.
That was on
But
purpose, though.
that's a feature, not a bug.
I hated it though because it was so annoying and it like gets the point across of what they're dealing with and why they almost drive to kill him at one point. But yeah, it makes sense. I liked how weird it was, and the whole like going into different dimensions thing, how this is happening simultaneously to several other people, was crazy as hell. Strange ass movie, not where I thought it was going at all. What I disliked, basically where the movie went. I wish it would have went a different direction, which I will get into, because I'm not sure what the theme of the movie is.
The director did talk about it, and I
I
read
know the director
interview.
did talk about it. I did actually do some research on this. I forgot what the director said, but he said it was something about like it was mostly about suburbia.
And living under like a capitalistic society and all that. I remember what he said.
Yeah, I remember it. Something like that, right? I wish he would have gone more with the suburbia theme, and also what I thought the movie was going to be more about is the kind of like what's next kind of trap that a lot of people, well, I don't want to call it a trap, but then what's next kind of mentality that a lot of people get into? Loop? What?
Yeah, it's like a loop.
Yeah, it's like a loop. Like you graduate high school, you go to college, you start a job or start working, whatever. And then once you graduate, you get a job, whatever, you find someone, you get married, buy a house. What's next? Baby, what's next? Kind of thing. Like where people get into this cycle of like what their parents did before them or what is expected by society. And I thought that's where this was going, where they both had steady jobs, they're both together for decently long time, enough that they're looking for a house because that's what's next on the plan, kind of thing. What's next? And I would keep the same like suburbia theme and like being trapped there, but I don't think I would put it in such a horror thing.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. It's hard to do it with what I would have preferred the direction of it going without changing basically the entire movie.
Well, what would you change?
That's the point of the podcast.
I know, but I don't want to change the entire thing. Like I would keep okay, yeah, whatever. I would keep the whole like no neighbors being trapped, but they don't try to get out because that's what was next. That's like, and I want that to be kind of like a thing that they say, oh, like what's next? Kind of thing. Oh, we get a house. What's next? Oh, we have a baby. Maybe the baby gets delivered. I don't know. And then they raise the kid, and I wouldn't have Tom and Gemma die though. I would like they'd raise the kid, and then grow up super fast.
Are they happier raising the kid, or is it the same thing?
They're not happy, but they're not tortured raising the kid.
Okay, so
like they're just like doing it, right?
Just doing the
just
motions.
going through, yeah.
Just going through the motions, kind of thing. And they like when the baby gets delivered, they're not fully on board with it at first, but then they eventually just like devolve into going through the motions, kind of thing.
Like this might as well happen.
Yeah, this might as well happen, kind of thing. And the boy is much more manageable, not as weird and crazy, not enough where they try to kill him or whatever. Yeah, it'd be much more grounded, and it's already a short movie. But anyways, like they just raise the kid, turns to a young man, and then he just leaves one day. Says he has a job or something. He just leaves, and then I would have the movie just kind of them sitting down at the dinner table and just look at each other and say, "What's next? What now?" And maybe they die then, because that's what happens. You raise a kid and then you die. And that's where I thought the movie was going, and that's where I would have liked it to go, because that's the thing that I have had some thoughts about, the whole like cycle of the same thing happening generation after generation. And I'm almost 28 and still single and don't have a house.
I mean, I don't have a house either.
Yeah.
Well, you have your own place. I don't.
Yet.
Saving money for that. But yeah, I liked the movie, how it was. It was really creepy and really weird, and I enjoy that kind of stuff. But I think it would have worked better if it wasn't as weird, and it was more of, instead of this weird cuckoo thing, just more of like suburban life, and yeah, living in a capitalistic kind of society kind of thing. And maybe
culture.
Consumerism, yeah, and maybe they don't, this stuff doesn't get delivered to them. They like, maybe the phones only open up to a certain app where they order what they want. Amazon delivery. Let's go.
Or like they have to go scavenge in the empty houses.
No, I like the more, well, they could, but I like the more of just like the Amazon kind of society we are going into. Everything gets delivered now, especially with what's going on in the world, but that just exacerbated the problem. Still, yeah, that would have been a nice little subtle theme on it. I don't know. I think it would have worked better as kind of like the direction our society is going, and the cycle that a lot of people get into of what's next in life, where it can be whatever you want. You don't have to get married. You don't have to buy a house. You can stay renting. You don't have to have a baby.
You can have a cat.
You can have a cat.
Like the one who's been jingling the curtains this entire episode so far.
And now he's gone for the toy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I like your version better as like a movie to watch during quarantine, because like watching Vivarium, it's very different when you're actually in a pandemic. And I can kind of say that. I didn't actually watch the movie. I watched like a video essay on YouTube about it.
Before we watched this movie.
But way before we watched this movie.
How-
This was
how
like
do
a
we-
year to go.
How do you pronounce it? Because I said Vivarium. Is it
Vivarium.
Vivarium? Vivarium?
Like
Okay.
vibrant or like
I was a Vivarium also.
I don't think it matters.
Or Vivarium. I don't know.
Vivarium,
I
Vivarium, pick
so don't care about phonics. Yeah.
Okay.
I almost failed phonics in 3rd or 4th grade. I had to cheat near the end to survive.
Yo, knowing 2 languages makes it so much harder. For English
no.
especially.
Also, like when I transferred schools when they were teaching it, so they already knew it, and they weren't really explaining it well to me, so I had to cheat.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it now, Mrs. Weber and Mrs. Winans? You can't stop me.
You want to know the ironic thing about my learning phonics?
What?
My grandmother specifically, like before I started school, she supposedly taught me phonics, so that because she never got taught phonics and she struggled with it, and she's like, I taught it to you so you would know, and I didn't remember any of it.
Poor grandma.
Sorry, grandma.
Anything else?
No,
you wanna...
that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
Basically, that's what I would change. I don't know if you want me to go into more detail, but
I mean,
just
do you
had
want
a rough
to, or...
outline. I just had a rough outline more than
Okay, that's fine. I mean, if you have a
specific
rough
details, because it
don't-
was, again, changing the entire movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's allowed.
That's
Yeah.
the podcast.
And maybe still like have the whole ending scene of, the young man going there and rolling up the old guy, because it's still kind of a cuckoo parasitic life thing. Just don't kill Tom and Gemma.
Do you keep the alternate dimension shit or no?
No, because they would be more
it would
willing.
be different. It would be a different kind of horror from what Ed's telling us.
Fair enough.
It's less
Okay.
of like
It's
traditional horror. It's almost
I
like
feel
existential.
like I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
I like what you're
Yes,
doing.
exactly that existential horror, like
No.
dread that like all
I get where
mid
you're
20s,
going-
late 20s go through.
I get what
Of,
you're
like,
going.
where's my life going?
I get what you're going with the whole like keeping him rolling up the old man. 'Cause it's like, okay, now the cycle keeps going.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
the
get
cycle
that.
keeps going.
But I feel like if you put him in the body bag, that'd be make a bit more sense.
Put who in the body bag? No.
Put the old man in the body bag.
Yeah.
But
He
I don't
did.
know, but I
Yeah.
think if you roll him up, then it's gonna ask like, wait, how's that guy able to roll him up? There's been no hint of him being an alien. So I think if you just put him in the body bag and maybe there's like a chute.
Well, there's
like-
a door right behind the body
Yes, but
bag.
don't
They could
roll.
just-
But don't roll him up. Is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
don't
So
roll
that-
him up.
that-
Just like throw him into the other room.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, the door is just a chute, and just throws him down the
yes.
chute.
Yeah.
like a laundry
Yeah.
chute.
It's a people shoot.
It's a people shoot. Yeah, and then he just sits back down, and the cycle repeats, and it's still a parasitic life form like the cuckoo.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's good.
I don't know if I would say they're aliens
Like in the original movie or in your
in the
version?
original movie. Even I don't know.
They're-
I think it's just more of
His name's Martin. The dirt in the other place is red.
Yeah, like Martian.
Martian.
Yeah, no,
Okay. They're
No,
aliens,
it's-
whatever.
well, it's an alternate dimension. I
Yeah,
think
it's
they're-
like
Yeah, it's like-
they're obviously not human.
yeah,
They're
obvious-
telegraphing.
It's-
There's
it's-
some kind of not human thing.
It's Indiana Jones 4 rules with the aliens. It's dimension. It's dimensions, which I fucking
Yeah.
hate saying.
Dimensions. Wait, is that how that
Ooh.
was for the aliens in Indiana 4?
We should
Yes,
do
they were-
Indiana Jones 4 at some point. That would be fun.
We can do it right before Indiana Jones 5 comes out.
Hell yeah.
It was dimensions?
It was dimensions, yes, because remember it's like, where are they going? The dimension between dimensions.
Oh.
What? And then it ends. And we
I just
ends.
think it's kind of weird. I just thought it was kind of weird how like Indiana Jones had like the Holy Grail and like Jesus and God were real in that, and then they have aliens.
Well, to be fair, 2 was about like a literal magical cult. So 4 being aliens wasn't as far-fetched if you think of it as every odd movie is religion, every even number movie is something else. Because 1 was the Holy Grail, 3 was
4.
Okay. I'll raise you this. In Prometheus, the original version, Ridley Scott had Jesus being one of the engineer aliens.
Would he look like an engineer?
Yes. I think that was the implication.
So Jesus was handsome Squidward is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Because let's be honest, those aliens look like handsome Squidward.
He would probably look like Hosier when he did the handsome Squidward filter.
Prometheus got like the worst treatment because Ridley Scott was like, this isn't aliens, but it kind of is. And the studio was like, make it aliens.
I didn't think Prometheus that much.
No, it would have been better if Ridley Scott had more freedom to not make it an aliens movie. Aliens like origin movie.
Vivarium likes. I like the great acting, and the kid was especially good at it. You know, kid actors are hard. Like it's hard to get a kid to.
Kid actors literally only ever hit or miss. There's no in between.
Yeah, there's no like okay.
They're either really good or really bad.
Go hard or go home.
Yeah.
And this kid went hard while being in a home. So also the atmosphere of the whole movie was really good.
A little too good.
No, like, yeah, but like there was an interesting thing. Like there's points where you can tell the movie's obviously filmed in a studio and like the CGI isn't the best, but it's on purpose. Like they use the fakeness of it to really sell you more on like this isn't right and make it more unsettling. That's really good. I don't see a lot of movies do it that well.
Do bad CGI to enhance the movie.
Well, it wasn't bad CGI, but it was obviously like
it's not top tier.
They were going for the uncanny valley.
It's
a feature, not a bug.
Yes, and especially even with the practical settings, like the house is like, oh, these are obviously sets, but it works.
Yeah.
Also, the practical effects, speed effects, the one with the kid when he had this, like, what did the other guy say? And then his throat just inflates, like, yeah, that was good. Another thing I liked that you guys did touch upon was the kid reflects the parents, and Ruthie did too. The kid, when you did the joke about them, I noticed he keeps reflecting every bad thing the parents do or say to him, and that's kind of how it is. It can be in real life, you know, although in this case it was a lot more direct and blunt. But like it's a good thing that I don't think a lot of people remember or realize when they're raising. Like I've worked with kids and it's like, my God, if I said one bad thing to them, or if any of the staff said one bad thing to them, God, they remember and they will throw it back.
Lead by example. Because a lot of people raise as do as I say, not as I do, but you just do.
Yeah.
That was what my mom said when she was teaching me driving. I love you, Mom.
She might listen to this.
Lead by example. And they did not lead with a good example on this kid.
Okay, so my dislikes and fixes.
Wait, was that that list of likes seems so short.
I mean, there's some that kind of come in and out. I kind of mixed up a bit more.
Okay.
I mean, I think that this movie was very
it's short.
Yeah.
It's short and very, very condensed in like the things it's trying to do. So there's not a lot of like nitpicky things to do, really.
Fair.
In my opinion. It's so like one track kind of thing, which I like.
Okay, so here's the problem I have with this movie. It has like it tries to have like a point or theme or whatever, but some of the actions that they do either conflict or don't really connect to its full potential. It's like one thing is the cuckoo. What does the cuckoo do?
The parasitic life cycle.
What does it do specifically? I want you to give me the details.
Lays an egg in a foreign nest.
And the baby kills the original
kills
baby.
The other babies, yeah.
Yep, keep that in mind. So
oh no.
Oh no.
Anyway, so part of this, I feel like the movie does two different things because it tries to use this whole parasite thing of like, oh, look, this baby is consumerism, I guess, because according to Word of God, which is, the creator,
the director, yeah,
was like, oh, this, if I remember correctly, it's like this house and family dream is kind of pointless, like Ed was saying, because once you get it, then what? But some of the actions don't really show that. So here's what you do. You fix Gemma and Tom are wanting to buy a house mainly because Gemma's already pregnant and they want to raise the baby in a good. Ed's like, what? Interesting. And Ruthie's eyebrows raised a little like, She's 6 months pregnant. You know, they want to get a house before the baby comes. They want the baby to grow up in a nice place to run and be happy.
If she's already 6 months pregnant, though, she's fucked. They gotta move in. Sorry.
When do you start showing?
As soon as 3 months. It really depends on the person.
We know a lot of pregnant people. Anyway, so they move into this neighborhood. Martin introduced them to. Martin also works at the school as maybe another as a janitor, maybe.
Maybe he's a teacher's aide.
Maybe he's a teacher's aide, but he knows them. Maybe he's friends with Gemma, right? So they move into the neighborhood and meet a couple of neighbors. They all have, like, they're all about to have kids, or they all have smaller children, like maybe a year, right? Some of the kids look similar, but they're not like too similar at this point in time.
Like, is it the kind of thing you would like that would make the audience suspect, oh, it's the milkman's baby?
Yes. So they start to leave, because my issue is with this whole movie is it's two people raising one guy, but it seems like there's only one. So it's just a cycle of one again and again and again and again in each dimension. That's a little confusing. It just seems like, what's the point? Because according to the director, they're only trying to survive, but that seems like a really roundabout, convoluted way of trying to survive as a species.
Also, what happens when they do when a couple actually succeeds in killing a baby? You're telling me nobody's ever killed a baby?
Seems they have enough. Well, if one dies, it doesn't really matter too much.
But the implication, though, is that it's one at a time.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So this is gonna seem a little insensitive, but this is the only way I could kind of think of this. They start to leave one night from after they move in. They're gonna go out to dinner to bring some dinner to celebrate. They're about to leave. They turn on the car, and the radio says that there's a pandemic. It's getting really bad all of a sudden. Like maybe it's a chemical leak or some shit. You all have to stay home.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So we're going to give you food that's been safe from the chemical or whatever.
Amateurs. Pandemic? First time?
We have to stay home for 2 years? First time.
So within a few days, she's already having to give birth. Like the baby's been growing a little bit, but now it's like, oh no, I'm pregnant. Husband, take me to the hospital. Screw screw this. They're gonna be going, and I take a bit of a picture from a bit of a thing from page from thank you from that water movie we saw that Ed liked.
Cure for Wellness.
Cure for Wellness. Thank you. And
that's how much we didn't like it.
And then they crash, and they both get knocked out. Old man Martin's there because he's a neighbor. And he does a home birth, and they named the kid Martin.
The baby. Sorry.
They named the kid Martin as a way to thank him. So they start to notice weird things with the neighbors. Like the kids are looking a little too similar, and right around that time they keep disappearing. And they'll talk to the neighbors, and they're like, "Yeah," one will be like, "Yeah, I suspect my wife of cheating or something." And then then everyone just starts to disappear over time until it's just them. So then Martin gets older, and then he's starting to have the same suspicions. Tom's starting to have the same suspicions of, shit, she's been cheating on me with Martin, weird fuck. And at the same time, Martin seems to be their only neighbor, but it seems like he moved during the thing. And now they can't get out. At this point, they can't get out. They try to leave and they can't get out. And they're starting to realize, okay. Martin will visit once in a while. He'll keep talking to them, and he'll give them the little Martin gifts. It's bringing more of a divide. The whole thing happens. I just kind of like the whole story, although it feels like he'll spend a little too much time digging in that hole. So maybe once he starts to get sick, he doesn't, because it seems really counterintuitive. Like, I get the meaning behind it, the fact that you work and work and work and you dig your own grave. But I think if he just dug enough and he's like, I can't do this anymore. They're about to leave one day. They're about to maybe leave the boy behind, because like, this isn't right. This is definitely not him. And then they get a message one day saying, from the box saying, raise the boy and then you can leave. So this whole story keeps happening, and it basically ends the same way. Because I kind of like the whole story. Because by that point, they're like, okay, they have a good talk when Tom's really sick, and they realize, shit, there's no way. Like maybe the timeline with Martin doesn't add up to her being pregnant with his kid, Martin's kid, old man Martin's kid.
What do you mean it doesn't add up?
Because maybe they met. Maybe he was thinking, oh, Tom's thinking, oh, Martin and Gemma had a fling because remember they knew each other. But no, that doesn't add up, and just some other shit. Or maybe he just finally trusts her or something. So when Gemma says, I'm not your mother, it has a whole new meaning. Because it's like she knows, like, she was starting it out herself maybe too for some reason, just because of all the craziness of being locked inside.
Gaslighting is a hell of a drug.
And gaslighting. So then the movie just kind of plays out the same. I did kind of like the ending. I just wish there was a bit more explained to it. And then maybe when she's going through other dimensions, she notices some of her old neighbors. But then, like, as she tries to reach out to one, maybe she starts sinking into the floor. And, yeah.
Or you could even do, like, because the implication you're doing is it was originally their baby and then the baby got switched, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she walks in on a baby switching.
Maybe, yeah. Well, honestly, I didn't want to say it out loud, but the hard implication was that Martin just killed the other baby and replaced, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to go...
No, yeah, like, maybe she does... When she's doing the dimensional travel, she walks into a baby switching, and that's when it finally.
Yeah,
I mean that's what Ruthie was saying. Yeah.
See, when you first said like keep in mind the cuckoo thing, I thought you were gonna do like you were about to like imply baby on baby violence.
I keep thinking of that one episode of South Park with crack baby basketball. Anyway, I
haven't seen South Park.
It's like the one of 3 episodes I've seen. It's really stupid. Anyway,
okay. Oh yeah, no, like in the beginning of the movie, it's like the baby chick is the one who commits the
yeah. Well, I did, but I didn't want to like it would make no sense for the baby to do that.
Still a parasitic life cycle.
That's what I was going for. At least it kept the parasitic. Because the whole point was like the thing about him is like, okay, if it's a parasite, but the baby just comes from a box. So it doesn't feel as much of a parasite as much as like it's
free baby.
A free baby and kidnapping and being forced. So I don't know. That was just my way of trying to make it a bit more creepy.
Did we all like the ending, Ruthie?
I thought it was okay. I
know, but we both kept the original ending, 2 for 3.
Oh no, I'd keep the original ending.
Oh, okay, cool. 3 for 3.
I just didn't like the movie as much.
Please tell us how.
Okay, I'll start with what I like at least. Neither of you guys mentioned the chemistry between Imogen and Jesse, the main characters. They both have a very realistic looking relationship. Like they get along together really well. They have a good time.
Even some nice fights. Banter.
They have really great banter.
Even after big fights, they still
exactly. But the big fights are still there too, and that's really important because, like, you see it even early on when they're in the real estate office. Tom is super weirded out. He does not want to stay there. Like, it's in his body language. He's like right about to say, like, I want to go. Let's leave. I'm outie. Whatever he was gonna say. But she's the one who interrupts and says, "No, I want to see it." She knows how uncomfortable he is. It's impossible to not see. Yeah. But she does it anyway. And there's a couple times where he does the same thing too. Well, they make the snap decision. So there's like obviously cracks in their relationship, which kind of play out further down. I don't know. I just really liked the details in their relationship. I don't know how much of it was like the script or how much of it was the actors, but something struck right there. And I liked that. Honestly, I think this is a very well constructed movie. It's just not a good movie for me. I am the wrong audience, you know?
No, I get you.
Yeah. When I wrote this next thing down, it was specifically because I thought they were in the States because I'm Americentric, but the creepy guy, like, he mimicked Gemma first. Like, he picked up her accent and I wanted to play with that later, but I found out the movie takes place in the UK, so that's almost useless, but I'm still going to use it.
Oh. It's in the UK.
Yeah. You didn't notice that with the paint on the...
Or the license plates.
The lines on the road.
The license plates.
The license plates. The drivers sit on the wrong side.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They both have American accents, though.
No, Imogen's got She's got a
Oh,
British
Imogen's got. Oh yeah, she does.
No,
It's
she has a very
Jessie.
British accent.
Yeah.
It's called
There's-
proper.
There's only two characters that don't have the British. It's Jesse Eisenberg and the little girl at the beginning of the movie who finds the dead bird.
I thought she was supposed to be British, but she just couldn't pull it off as much.
Yeah, she was like 6. I'm really bad at guessing ages, but she looked like 6 equivalent, so it makes sense. She might not have figured out accents. The music was really creepy, and it accentuated like the bad vibes throughout the movie.
Was good.
You and I actually wrote it at the exact same time, just like creepy sounds. Type. And flowing into that, this movie really mastered the uncanny valley. And like I said, it's a feature, not a bug. There's a podcast that I've been trying to get Ed to listen to. It's called the Magnus Archives. And I kid you not, like this is like the perfect mixture of like 3 separate episodes that I can think of off the top of my head. So I don't know.
You're publicly calling it out to listen to this podcast.
Yes, I am. Unless you take it out. It's up to you now.
I'm in a podcast. I can't listen to podcasts.
You're literally listening to the audiobook of Dune.
That's different.
What is an audiobook? If not,
it's a book, not people talking.
If not a podcast, persevering. I had to take away. I had to
super scripted podcast.
At least I'm taking the first step. Because
True.
I'm actually listening to something now for the first time ever in my life.
You never heard music before? Okay, my last was, I guess it kind of stems off the relationship thing. It does highlight how you need to have those important conversations with your partner. Are you team kill baby or team raise baby? What do you do when your partner gets bitten in a zombie apocalypse? Or the conversation Hector and I had the other day after watching a movie. How do you know you're really talking to your partner's ghost? You need to have these conversations in advance before the spooky shit happens.
We rewatched Shang-Chi for my dad's birthday, and I don't want to spoil anything
Shang-Chi.
else.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like this Valentine's Day, pull your partner aside and say, I just got bit by a zombie. What are you doing?
It's cutting your head off.
Exactly. Correct answer.
Crying all the way.
Or depending on how quickly the zombie bit, you cut off that extremity.
What if you get bit on the face though? Then you're fucked.
Yeah, then
I knew someone who got bit by something.
Goodbye.
I knew someone who got bit by something poisonous. So what the couple did is the guy had an axe at the ready and he just literally cut off the other.
Who?
I can't remember. This was years ago.
Okay.
But like I know it was either someone I knew or someone who knew I knew.
A friend of a friend.
I think it was like the grandparents of a friend or something. Okay. It was legitly, and it was like, oh wow, how do you live with your like? You have to be grateful for them for saving your life, but at the same time, like you're missing a limb. Like,
honey, can you give me a hand? You already took my other one.
What stung them? What bit her?
I think it was a snake. I don't know if it was a guy or girl. Snake? I don't remember, but it was like a boy. The guy knew his shit. I know for a fact he knew his shit. But like,
because some snakes that are poisonous don't really kill you that fast. They're poisons.
It was more like stopping it from spreading to the body. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know, but like you can just get in there and suck most of it out. And
that doesn't really work as well. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about this.
Anyways,
let's not talk about this.
Okay.
Dislikes. Maybe a nitpick now that I'm a germaphobe, now that we're in a pandemic, but he didn't use hand sanitizer after he touched the dead bird, and then he immediately touched Gemma's jacket. Like immediately. That's yucky.
It's just a bird.
Yeah, but like it's a dead bird. It's been on the ground and covered.
He buried it. He washed his hands with the dirt.
It's messing with you.
That's not how that works. I thought it was weird that he kept throwing his cigarettes in the same hole that he already had, because like
maybe he's trying to make them bigger.
Well, why wouldn't he just like get rid of his entire lawn? If it was me, I'd want to just like fuck the rest of my lawn and fuck all the regular house's lawn, like the normal lawns.
Why do you care if you don't live in your house? If you don't care about the house you live in, though? I get what you're saying, but like generally, they don't care. They want to get out of there, so why not fuck it up? Sense of control, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they like trashed the house that they were staying at. I'd just like fuck up the whole block.
Maybe. I mean, if you want to go deep analysis, pseudo like deep analysis, it's about how we keep going into this cycle of like we say we want these things, but when we really get to them, we just destroy them because it doesn't matter. That was me just bullshitting, obviously.
Armchair psychologizing. In a similar vein to when I was saying creepy music, as cool as the creepy music is, this film is not apartment friendly in its sound design.
Oh god, yeah, it would go like loud or quiet.
Much like Tenet, we had to keep it down a lot because of how noisy it would get. So we had it felt like we were listening to it muted quite a bit of the movie.
Our neighbors have
smaller children
and we don't want to. It was yeah.
And as I said earlier, I didn't like this movie, not because it's a bad movie, but it's a bad movie for me. I guess a better way to put it, I'm a bad audience for it. I'm the kind of person that wants to watch movies as an escape from reality. Like, I didn't want to watch Promising Young Woman for that exact reason. Like, why do I want to watch a movie that just exacerbates the problems I'm trying to run away from? I'm good with my Austin Powers, thanks. And yeah, this is a bad quarantine movie. It's all about making you feel lonely and sad. And I did have like a little bit of a depressive episode after we finished this 咩? Yay.
Ed, don't feel bad. You're fine.
No, you're totally fine.
He has his hands in his face like, oh no.
What have I done?
It's fun. It's so easy to do.
No, it's not. It's not hard.
It is not hard.
As someone who's married to her, I have done it by accident, like that.
And you've done it on purpose. Like, I'm kidding.
Okay, well, be careful. They don't know what they're gonna think.
Fixes, Ed. I don't think you're gonna like my fixes, and I'm sorry.
Let's go. I'll just do this.
Okay. First thing I wrote, kind of not related to anything else. If you really want to freak out the audience, make the house not flammable in the first place. Like, whoever designed it, they knew what was coming. Like, Tom goes with the whatever. What did he light?
He lit the piece of cardboard from the box.
He takes the cardboard, he holds it to the curtain. Nothing happens. Nothing.
You know what can do that? You know what can support it? The guy himself said the house just kind of sprung up based off like whatever the other creatures were like doing. Like they can just kind of create them like a blight on the land.
Yeah.
Subtle as a brick. But
yeah, he just like holds it up. Nothing happens. He goes, he touches the curtains, and oh, hot. Like, he just holds on to it, astonished. Nothing happens. Now on for the thing I know Ed's not gonna like. In the real estate office, there's 8 houses. I would, instead of having them be all the same color, all the same style, I would just add pointless, meaningless variations. There's 4 colors, there's 4 different styles. All of them are 2 stories, but it's like, do you want the pink one or do you want the green one? Where the choice really doesn't matter. And Gemma can even mention like, oh, I think this looks like a dollhouse I had as a kid. Because it was modeled after a dollhouse from the trash. I'm subtle. I would also make it so that the neighborhood isn't empty. I'd go with Hector's route. We kind of thought about the same thing. But
I mentioned like this one was one I felt like she and I were going to be similar. So I'm like, okay, are you going to have neighbors in yours? And she said yes. And I'm like, can I still have neighbors in mine? And she's because
we did it in different ways.
Yeah, I think once we got just a little bit, we like to not know what we're doing, but with this one, it's like I felt we were going to be similar, but ends up we might not be.
I like the no neighbors just because of I don't know, at least my experience in suburbia, neighbors don't really talk too much to each other.
Yeah.
It's at least for millennials. We're very isolationists.
Puerto Rico is not the same.
No, it is not. Yeah,
very different. Basically, my take on the neighbors is whatever you believe that the boy and Martin are, they are the same. They're extra dimensional, they're aliens, whatever. They're the same things. So, for example, their first morning, instead of like the two, like they're about to go running off, and then they get a knock on the door when the day before they didn't see anybody. And they open the door and they see a man with his son. Both of them look similar to Martin, but like not too much. And they're like, whoa, there's actual people here. We didn't see you at all yesterday. And these two people are just really uncomfy. Like, not like they're creeped out or anything, but like they have a creepy painted on smile. They're not moving like people do. They're holding like some kind of like maybe they're holding the box of supplies, like, oh, we found this on the post on your doorstep for you. Here you go. We are normal neighbors. And you can even like obviously they have British accents. I don't want to throw that on just for funsies, but like the first time Tom talks to them, they both turn and stare at him uncomfortably.
Oh, because they've only known British
because
accents.
they've only ever experienced British accents. Gemma asks if they're neighbors, and they're like, oh, yes, we are neighbors. And she's like, oh, is there anyone else? Sir, Mr. Jones? Again, I'm subtle.
Can you explain that one to me?
Have you ever heard the phrase keeping up with the Joneses?
Oh, okay, thank you. I know a guy named Jones. That's why I was confused.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah, keeping up with the Joneses,
yeah.
like keeping up appearances.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, Mr. Jones, do you have a wife? He's, yes, I have a wife. And if you're kind of picking up what I'm putting down, it's every time they mention something that's not in this strange neighborhood, it starts to come up. She mentions a wife, they have a wife. Tom has a different accent. Maybe the wife picks up a different accent. Maybe they mention like, is there a park? Is there a place? Is there dogs? Dogs in parks start picking up. And I kind of want the movie to play out similarly. So when they start getting agitated and they're dealing with these neighbors, my workaround for that.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is this a first gen Alien?
My implication is that it's almost like they're between phases right now where they've got like the basics, but now they're like.
Figured, because like they would already know what dogs are from when they're going out and about.
Yes, but like now they're getting to the part where they can really replicate it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, I felt like that was a potential plot hole.
Yeah.
So thanks for.
Yeah, no, thank you for reminding me that. Whenever Gemma and Tom start getting frustrated and they start like wanting to take it out on the Joneses, they just, okay, it is time for us to go now. Or, okay, I have to use the restroom. Mind you, they've never used the restroom for the first whatever amount of time they've ever met. And as soon as they're out of line of sight for Gemma and Tom, they're gone.
Even if it's in Gemma and Tom's house?
Even if it's in their house. Like they go into the goddamn broom closet. They open the door, just brooms. Where's the people? And when they have little mini Martin, he starts to be able to do the same thing too. Tom tries to lock him in the car. He turns around. There's little mini Martin opening the door, screaming.
That one feels weird since that's not their own object, of the object of that world.
Well, the implication, the vibe that I'm going for is like, well, I guess, yeah, you could keep it. Okay, yeah, I'll keep that. But like they try and lock him in the broom closet and he finds a way out.
Oh, okay.
So whatever abilities they seem to have, he seems to have.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I touch on everything?
I think you did.
Yeah, I think so.
It's the same ending?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Like I said, I just wanted to have like one set of neighbors. Just
I like how we're all a little iffy on at least one part of the ending, but we all just keep it just because it's like, how else do you fucking end this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the vibe I'm going for is like they've survived long enough. Now they're trying to figure out thriving and maybe expanding outside of their bubble.
No, that's smart. I actually really dig that.
Yeah, I had a thought of, instead of keeping the original ending, just have them, like I said, just sit down at the dinner table and ask each other what's next kind of thing. And the movie ending right there. But I think the ending does add a lot to the movie if you keep the cuckoo scene in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, good with what we talked about, like dislike changes. All right, well, I'll start with it. I like this movie. Probably a B minus. I liked where it was going, but like, I like my version a lot more.
I like your version a lot more
I like
too.
your version a lot more. C minus, D plus. I didn't have a fun time. I just didn't have a fun time with this one, and it just kind of drained me a little bit.
Yay.
And I don't know how to say it. Like, it's not like it's bad. There's some stuff again I'd fix, but I like the general idea it's going with.
Is it again just kind of like
it just feels like it doesn't
Is it
touch
like
upon
my-
the themes as much. Like, or it
Okay.
doesn't like it has good ideas, but it doesn't know how to like. And I'm guilty of doing this in my own writing. I'm not trying to shit on the guy. So if you ever listen to this, like, it was a fun movie. It was fun. I just didn't. I wasn't the right person for this, and I just there's some stuff I personally like to hammer out a bit more.
Huh.
But like, I think it was fine.
Okay, I'm trying out Ed's method.
Wait. Sorry, let me finish.
Sorry.
This.
Yeah.
Let me fix this then. Personal enjoyment, C minus, D plus. I'll give it like a solid C plus, B minus, just on critique. I've seen a lot of movies that are technically better that have not even gotten close to the themes they're going with, or even gone against it. So this is fine. It's C plus, B minus. Critically, personally, C minus, D plus.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Ed's method as well. Like critically, it's like a B, somewhere around B. Personally, it's D minus. It's just like a mishmash. I don't vibe with it.
My critic and audience ratings are about the same, B minus.
All right.
So I enjoyed it at least. Oopsie.
So
Wait, hold on. So I said this is like not a great quarantine movie. What is a good like a movie where it's like isolative but like maybe kind of hopeful? Like for example, and you can't use this one now because I'm about to say it. Chronicles of Narnia. That's a good quarantine movie.
I have a weird one, but it's kind of also a big spoiler for the end of the movie. But most of our audience, I don't think, gonna care.
Okay.
Lego Movie,
Yes.
because the whole movie takes place technically in one room.
Yep.
I don't like those. They don't count because there's a lot of room to explore.
But that's kind of but it's like a hopeful movie. I don't know.
All right,
The
Ed,
only
what's your
house
quarantine movie?
arrest movie I can think of right now is like Disturbia.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, Disturbia. That's the
Shia LaBeouf one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought I got that completely mixed up with another one.
Yeah, that's the only isolationist one I can think of right now.
No, you're fine. Anything you guys have seen lately, or anything else you want to talk about? Like recommend?
I'm rewatching all the James Bond movies in preparation.
No, nice. For No Time to Die.
Mhm.
Which, if anyone listened to last week's episode or last time's episode, I did mention, like, I haven't seen No Time to Die yet. I haven't seen No Time to Die. I didn't mean to say No Time to Die. I think I meant to say one of the older Bond films.
We haven't seen a lot of Bond movies.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen one to complete.
There's a lot of Bond movies with something die in it.
I think that's what I was thinking of, but I mixed it up with the newest one because I just saw a trailer like the day before.
Dying Twice or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, just want to correct that before people give me shit like that movie's not
You're
out
probably
yet unless
thinking
you're in
of
the
one
UK.
of the Pierce Brosnan movies.
Probably. I don't know. Anyway.
One thing sorry, we mentioned No Time to Die, and I just remembered this. I mentioned before I do have a little bit of a background in graphic design now. I can say that. I was really excited by the by the typography, like the letters on the movie poster for No Time to Die, because it's such a callback to like the OG Bond movies, like the 70s.
Yeah.
I sound like such a dork.
No, you're fine.
No, it's
So
cool.
It's good. It's
Okay.
good. It's good.
So you'd recommend rewatching all the Bond films, Ed?
I mean, I've only rewatched Casino Royale so far, but
Okay.
I would recommend watching the
I've-
Austin Powers trilogy.
I've already
Okay.
seen Skyfall several times, and I have no interest in watching Spectre again because I was. But I don't remember Quantum of Solace, so I'm probably gonna watch that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ruthie, what do you recommend to
Austin Powers.
Okay.
Have either of you seen any Austin Powers
No.
movies?
I will never.
Damn, I was just about to suggest, what if we all got, like, Ed, what if you came over? Because that's good shit.
Hey, didn't you guys want me to watch Nacho Libre?
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
I also recommend Nacho Libre.
That's a good one. My thing, I guess, is holy shit, Star Wars Visions was fun.
Oh, that was fun.
That was like a breath of fresh air. Holy crap.
Oh, there's also the Marvel What If shows.
Marvel What If has been really good too. I
Yeah.
just their animation show has been fun.
Star Wars Visions, the first one, and the one by the Samurai Champloo studio. That's it. That's all.
Which one was that one? The
Bunny
Night
one.
Jedi?
Bunny.
The
Oh,
bunny
La
one?
Pinocho?
Oh, you like La Pinocho a lot?
I liked La
Yeah, the
Pinocho
last
too.
one. Because
The
it
last one?
ended in not a good way.
Okay. Oh, that's not the Lapinocho. That's not the bunny one. That's the Vision one. Anyway,
Yeah, no, that is the Lava Nocho. Yeah.
Lapinocho's the bunny one.
Yes, the bunny one. Yes, that
There's
one.
another
it didn't
one.
end in not. Oh, the other last one. But yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Lapa Nocho also didn't end like happy on all neat.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones.
No, it felt like it could almost be its own thing. It was kind of fun that way.
Yeah.
My favorite has
Also-
probably been The Village Bride.
That was good.
Mhm.
Highly recommend. You get some. I kind of hope The Ninth Jedi becomes a full-on show, because that was.
A lot
It
of
could
fun.
actually fit into canon. They have made it so that can fit into any point in the timeline for canon, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Also, my brother messaged me. He's like, "Have you seen Squid Game yet?"
I
And I
haven't
said-
seen Squid Game.
I said, "I have no idea what that is," and he responded with Jesus Christ, and I'm like, "Okay."
You don't wait. No, Ed. It's like the most popular show on Netflix in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I know. Now I
Yeah.
know. I had
I'm
no
gonna
idea what
watch
it
it
was.
soon.
Hector's gonna make me watch it.
You don't have to watch if you don't want to.
I mean,
Yeah,
but-
Well, the
I-
way it works is here's how it works. Here's how it works, audience. I will start sometimes, and we'll both do this with each other. So, but it's just generally I just tend to watch a little more like.
I have
shit.
a lot more decision fatigue, so Hector will say, "Let's watch a thing," and I'll say, "Okay," and then he'll say, "Okay, it is your turn to pick a thing for us to watch," and I will say, "I don't know, whatever you want."
So, or sometimes I'll be like, I'm gonna watch this show. Do you want to watch? And she's like, Nah, I'm good. And then I'll start watching it, and then she'll just like sit next to me and just start watching it.
Well, what will happen is the TV is right behind me in an inconvenient place, and I'll be playing computer games, minding my own business, and then it interrupts my work in Sims or whatever, and I have to watch it at that point.
Also, guys, it's been a year.
Yeah, it'll
Like
be
by the time if
the next. Yeah,
we'll be if this releases the day I plan to release it, which is on the 15th, let's hope, then our first episode was released on the 20th.
Yep.
So if we release it on,
happy birthday, us.
happy birthday to this podcast. Thank you, everyone. It's been a really fun time.
We've had almost 400 or a little over 400 plays as of recording.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone.
Well, that was Vivarium. Vivarium. And Vivarium. We will see you all next time. Well, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.